Today's agenda is introduction to Visualforce pages, Apex controller and extension, static resources, and Visualforce components. So let's jump on the Visualforce. So Visualforce pages are same like the HTML pages or any kind of front end. If you have seen like uh, th these Visualforce pages are similar to the PHP pages, or I can say ki JSP servlet JSP pages, servlet pages. So and we can write HTML tags, and they have their like specific tags for that, and we can write HTML tags like divs and image and anything else. We can use table and any other tags which are available in HTML. We can use. We can write CSS. We can write JavaScript, and we can create a page, and that page we can use as a tab or as a component in Salesforce UI. So that is a completely like web component framework. Java Visualforce is a framework, web component framework, which can be like used in mobile or desktop or any devices where that component or Lightning component are supported in Salesforce. So in Visualforce, we can write HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. We can call JavaScript as well. We can write like whatever thing we write in HTML pages, we can write in Visualforce. And each Visualforce page is concerned that so that tags and components are having for that each Visualforce pages. We will create a sample Visualforce page with the tags and component, and so each tag will have these attributes like id and renderer. So id will be using to bind that particular uh, field or the tag to that current user, and renderer will be the if you want to show or hide that particular tag, then you can use that render, and you can call it from any other method as well. And there are three different controllers. So controller are nothing but the backend part of that HTML. So there are three types of controller. One is standard controller, the second one is custom controller, or we write same as controller over here, and the third one is extension controller. So standard are nothing but the provided by Salesforce. Like we can use if you want to customize a account object page, then you have to use that standard controller, which is account. If you want to work with contact, then you have to use that standard controller contact. So whatever object are standard like account, contact, or if you are working with the custom object as well, then you also need there also you need to use this standard controller, because that standard controller will work like the functionality which is provided by the Salesforce itself. You can't be able to edit and make like you can use the save button uh, as it is working in Salesforce. You can use edit button as it is working in Salesforce. So whatever standard functionality are there available in Salesforce, you can use by using the standard controller. But out of the box, if you want to create your own functionality, if you want to edit your the standard functionality, then you have to use the custom controller. Like let's say ki you are going to build a page where you want to upload file, you want to show all the data in a table, or you want to make like it is fully customizable, then you can use custom controller. Or if you want to extend the functionality of standard controller, then you can use the extension. So that extension will be like let's say ki I am creating a Visualforce page on account object, and I want to customize the save button. Whatever the save button is doing, what's the now in standard functionality, what this save button does is it will save the record in backend, whatever the like functionality or whatever the values you have submitted. Okay, so that will save that only. If you want if you want that you want to add, like there is a field called there is a field called like last name over there on contact. So if you are not giving any value to that particular contact last name, then if you want that that last name should be default like test. So if you want to make that default value as a test for that last name, then you can use that extension to, and you don't need to give any value for the last name. It will be taking from the standard sorry, the default one which you have given in your extension. So that kind of like ability we can extend by using extension. Okay, so that's how this Visualforce page will work. Like this is the, so on this will also be working on the, so you will be also creating this Visualforce page on the like platform only, Salesforce platform only. So for this also you don't need to like install any application and all. Here only in the developer console you can create Visualforce page in the Salesforce UI itself. So there are two three ways you can create Visualforce pages, so we'll see those. And that page will so this is the common tag which is like in HTML, like HTML and then HTML closing. So it is same like that. So apex colon page, and apex colon page will be the starting in like closing text for the Visualforce page. So there will be the application logic, which is your controller, and that controller will connected. It is connected with the Salesforce database. Database, it will provide you the data by using this Visualforce page only. So let's go and see. Let me log in. Okay, so by going this setup, you can create a Visualforce page on the UI itself. So if you want to create, so there are three ways to create a Visualforce page. So first way is by coming this setup, and in the quick find box write Visualforce page, and you will find there are Visualforce page and Visualforce components. So click on this Visualforce pages, and you will see the list of all the Visualforce pages available. So there are two. If you want to click new, create a new, and you can create a new one. And let's say I am opening this page. Let me preview it. So this is how the first way will work. So by coming this Visualforce, like by quick find box, coming this Visualforce page window, you can create a new Visualforce page. The second way is by this URL. So let's say key this apex test one. I'm going to create a new page. So whatever you will give over here. So this is the URL, like this is the common URL till now .com, and then apex slash apex, and then selects whatever the name you want to give. So let's say I want to give test one, or I want to give account details. So I'm going to create a account details page. So just copy this URL, give your name after this apex and slash, and then give your Visualforce name, and then you will see this error message, or say key warning message, that it says like page account details does not exist. So if you want to create, click on this, and it will create a new account detail page for you. So by this is another way, and you can create a Visualforce page by going this developer console. In this developer console, you can go into the file menu, and in this file menu, click on this new, and then you can see over here a Visualforce page. So by coming over here, you can give a name and you can create a Visualforce page. So let me show you over there only. So this is our Visualforce page. It will show you like, congratulations, this is your new page account details. So you don't need to go in developer console to build it. So here, if you open this page, you can see over here, this there is a tab or window kind of. So if you click on this, it will open your code. So this is the code. It is written in default. So if I'll remove this and I'll save this, control save, or you can save it by clicking on this, so it will remove that content. So let's say key I want to give a h1 tag over here, and account details, and then click on save, and then it will so it will show the name, the tag. It will show the name whatever we have written in the h1 tag. So that is your completely HTML. You can write the CSS over here. Inline CSS also you can apply class and ID you can use, like in HTML we use. So that is very simple. And you can open your Visualforce page over here as well. Like, click on this open, and you will see over here like what kind of entity you want to open. So pages are Visualforce pages. So here you can see the name of your Visualforce page. You can double click on this, and it will you can see that page over here as well. You can write anything if you want, and you can create or here. So in this page, like if I'll say I will come on that part, like standard control and listing control. So that is the Visualforce page, very simple. And this is the background of backend of the Visualforce page. Like Apex, we use Apex at the as a backend of this Visualforce page, and there are three types of Apex we can write. Like there are three types of calling way of Apex. Like a standard controller where we don't need to write any code. It will by default take all the controller by which is having standard by Salesforce, and custom controller will be Apex class where we will implement all the logic for that particular Visualforce page. And the extensor, if you want to like extend the whole functionality of the standard or custom controller, you can use the extension one. Okay, so we'll go one by one, and we will use that standard controller and custom controller. So that is, yeah, so that is the architecture of the Visualforce page. The MVC architecture, you might have heard, or you have idea about it. So view, model, and controller. View is nothing but your Visualforce pages, standard pages or components. Controller are usually your Apex controller, Apex classes, standard or custom controller. Model are nothing but your object model, which are available in your database, like standard object or custom object, like account, contact, and anything else. So let me go first, and we'll use the standard controller over here. So here we'll see this standard controller. I'll give the name of account over here. So by default, it will take all the functionality of account. Okay. So I have defined this standard controller as account, and it will give you the functionality of account object. So let's say key, let me save over here, and we'll work over there only. I'll close the developer console, and I'll open here standard controller account, and it will use all the. So here you can see, when you define this standard controller as account, this tab automatically highlighted. Like if I'll give this is as a contact and save, this will change. So here you also you can see, so it will, like by default, it will take all the functionality which is provided by Salesforce. as a standard one. So I'll go back to the account one, and here you want to see. So let's say कि I you want to see. Let me open the, sorry. One moment, guys. My internet a bit slow. Taking time. Close it. Okay, so here, if you want to create a account, or let's say कि I want to display all the like account. Let me check I have account or not in my account table. So yeah, there are some of, how many account are there? So yeah, there are enough. Yes. I have created this one. Okay. So that is the simple code of this standard. They have using this standard controller as a, so record set variable. It is you can define the variable for that as well. And let me just copy this and use that one. Okay, so this is the form the form you use in HTML generally. This is the same in this one. So here you can see this form and the messages. We don't need right now this message. Command button is the button. So this is the tag for command button. You can use whatever button you have used, or you can use in HTML text, you can use in this. So in HTML we write this simply button. Here you can write apex colon command button. And you can use that one. If you so we just simply go, I'll just simply go and show you the detail of account. So let me like I'll check output apex colon output to field is there. Oh, why it is not coming? Because I have forgotten this output field, and in the value you can write what should be the value here, and the value will be you can use the apex field, sorry, your account field over there. So here you have to use this account as your object name and what kind of field you want to use. So let's say I want to use account number. So and then I'll give this one in the value, and let's say you so here you have to close this one, and apex. So there are so many other all also available like input, Excel support, inline edit support, input file if you want to upload any file, colon, data table, facet. So there are so many. I'll write simple input uh, field, sorry, field, and value should be the account dot let's say industry. Okay, so let me save this one. Page must occur between. Okay, so it should be come in the apex form, sorry, apex underscore form. If I save now, it will give some error. So the account between line 6 and 7, element type of must be by the matching and apex pages. So okay, I have. Okay, so we have. So this is the output field for your this one. Sorry, account number, where it is having this account number. Can use label as industry, and for this label as account number. Let me save it, and should. Okay, so next page record. Okay, record set variable. I'll use this a double C, and I'll that we can't use. So let me go and check in the account. Okay, so this is showing this industry field over there. Why it is not coming this? I'll change this input field and I'll save this. Okay, now it is coming. This one. Why it was not coming? Okay, so for output field, we need to iterate so it is why it was not coming because it was not like sure that which record it should display, so that it was not coming. Now I have using this input field, so it is coming as a input field. It's a text field, so we can write anything here. You can choose and you can use the save button of your. So let me, so apex and command button, and here you can say save, and in action you can give save. What should be the action over there, so that we have to choose on click on focus all the title. Okay, title, save. Let me save it. Okay, so this button is coming over here. So let me give this account name. Okay, let me go and save this. So let's say key I'm creating this account and VF page, test account, VF page, and agriculture as a industry. So it should save. So we have not given any. So this is the account which is created. So you can see over the name test account VF page and the industry is agriculture. That so uh, that's how you can create a visual force page. Okay, and you can write anything you want. And this is that is the standard controller we have used, and you can use like custom controller if you write this one controller and in standard controller you can use your custom object also. So let's say ki I want to use student underscore c. So for this student underscore c you want to see, let's see ki like this. I'm not going to give. Let me check where is if there is any mandatory field available. For this, we have only the record type. Okay, the record type it will take by default, and we have only standard field available. Okay, let me go and save this, and I'll student, and this should create a student record. And here you can see in the student tab, it is created this student this test student VF page. So you can use this standard controller in your anywhere in your custom object as well. You can use that one in your standard object as well. So that's the standard controller. Any any issue in that? Any like any question on that? Okay, if you don't have any question, then we can go ahead for the custom controller. So to define this custom controller, we use this simple word controller, and here you can use your Apex class name. Like here you don't need to provide any like your object name, because it will not be allowing you to give the object name. If you are going to give you, then you should have that type of class, that class over there with the same name. So I'll give the name of this controller account details controller, and I'll save this. Okay, for first, it will not save. It will give you the error because account detail controller is not available. So what do you want to do? You want to create a public class for this, or you want to like sharing class? So this we will create a public class. So here you can see this is the public class for this, and you can write your code over here. You can use the custom controller, and you can like customize the sorry, you can customize your that functionality, and in code you can write anything you want to customize. Okay, so we'll use that one over here, and here we'll see how we can use. So let me go, and here we'll so I'll go and create a page block for this. Apex colon page block, and title I'll give okay account details, and sorry, let me remove this account details, and okay, I'll remove this one. Apex page block, and then we, in this Apex page block we will have a Apex page block section, because there is it is mandatory to use Apex page block section if you are using page block. So inside that we'll write this Apex page block section. So it is complicated now, as this one is also like people are not using right now. They are using Lightning one, and Lightning component and Lightning Aura component or Lightning Web component are available. So they use that one, but that's okay. My battery, guys. So okay, let me go. How much? Okay, I'll here I'll write the acc dot name over here. I'll just remove that one for now. Okay, in the like controller, it is a class, and here I'll write this public. I'll define the account name account acc, and I'll create a method public void, and display account. Sorry. Okay, then should close this one. Okay, in this I'll like query account, select name from account, and then I'll close this one, and then I'll okay, so get to this call. Okay, so it will return the what is the back method. Okay, get account should be there. Okay, get account. Hmm, okay, use to a subject or object. Okay, this is the account. Should return the account actually. Public void get return and okay, we need to write a method called save public save. What happened? Return null account. Okay, this should be over here. Okay, I'll limit one. Okay, so here you go. Here I have created a page where I have used this controller, custom controller, and I have retrieved all the like I have created this Apex class, and here I have retrieved all the account. Sorry, one account only with the limit. Sorry, let me go. So with the limit, I have given over here the limit one, and here one moment, guys. So here you can see this is this retrieve this first account, whatever the account it found for first entity, and it will it's displayed this one the name Jene point. Sorry guys, I just put my mobile on laptop on charge, and now let me start again. Okay, so got it. This is the custom controller. You can define the code and you can retrieve your like data via Salesforce, and you can use this save. So we don't use the save button. We are not using the save button as I have defined this save button. So I needed to write this method for this. So you can see over here it is displaying this name, and this button will not do anything for now because we have not written anything. It will return null. So any question on this one? And okay, so if don't have any question, you can use that extension as well. So in the extension, you can create another method and you can use that one. So let's say key I'm using this extension. So this is the same one. So this is when we use this standard controller, then we use this one. So let me account. Okay, so this is my standard controller. Yeah, so this is my standard controller I have using account, and I want to extend the functionality of this standard controller, then I'll use this extension, because if we are using the standard controller, we can't use the controller. At the same time, we can't use the custom and standard controller at the same time. So we have to use this extension. So in this, to use this extension, we have to write the one more method over here, like apex pages dot standard controller and here you can retrieve and you can write whatever the apex code you want to write, you can write and you can return over here. So that is the same the custom controller will do, and you can override the functionality of standard controller here in your extension. So that's how this standard and custom and extension controller will be working. Okay, if you have any question, please let me know. I'll go ahead because we are out of time, and I'll go ahead and I'll pick the next topic, which is the static resources. Okay, so static resources are nothing but the file or the space which is provided by the Salesforce. Here you can like include all your files which you use generally in your code, like jar file or zip file, like any CSS file if you want to use in your Visualforce page, any image if you want to use that in your Visualforce page, that you can uh, like store in the static resources, and you can use by using this dollar sign and resource name. And like this is the tag for this image, apex image, and this is the URL, and in URL you have to define this name, resource dollar resource, and you can give the name of that resource, and you can use that. So that is the simple one which we have generally in every language, like in PHP or in Java we have static resource and we can use that one. So that is the same in Visualforce page as well. So to create a static resource, you can go ahead and in your setting. So let me go in the setup and I'll show you how to create a static resource. So in quick find box, you can write static and you will find here in the develop, you can see the static resources, and you can create a new one over here. What kind of static resource you want to create, you can create, give a name, and you can upload any file over here. If you want to make it is a private to you only, so it will be private for you. If you want to make it public, so it will be available for publicly. So that is the static controller, sorry, static resources. And last we have the this one, sorry, sorry, Visualforce component. So Visualforce component is nothing but a box or a component of your Visualforce page, which you can use like let's say we have all the widget or the panels in our laptop or in our mobile as well. So you can create that kind of component in Visualforce, and you can use everywhere in the Salesforce wherever you want. Like if you want to add a component like this, so this is the component. It is a small component here. It is showing this lightning experience transition assistant, and it is a button over here, and this is the picture. So this kind of component you can create by yourself, and you can use anywhere in the Salesforce. Let's say I want to use a static controller which I have created on my account object, on account record over here. So here you can put that controller and sorry component, and you can use that component over here in your Salesforce class. So that is your so this is also same, just a difference. Like in this you don't need to write apex colon page. Here you have to write apex colon component, and all the tags which are available in apex pages, sorry Visualforce pages, will be available over here, and you can use those in your apex component as well. But nowadays we have lightning component, aura component, and lwc. So people or clients or companies doesn't don't use, most likely they use only those aura and lwc thing, because it's a bit old one, and people like use that one only. So that is the Visualforce pages and component. Here is the example of this component. Here it is another component, like say they have this picture over here, and this is the table of Visualforce page, and they are having a controller like previous or next button over here. So you can see these are all components. This is also a component. So that's how you can use the Visualforce component in your Salesforce. So these are the resources. You can go ahead and complete all those modules on Trailhead. So any question till now?
Anand, actually, do we have to learn Visual Force from scratch, or else just we have to prepare only for interview purpose?
For, I would say कि, just prepare for only for the interview, and uh, they in interview also they might be asking about this, but most of the time nowadays they will not ask, but people can ask. So just prepare for your interview only in your real projects or live project. You will not see anything. In my experience, I have not worked on Visualforce pages, but I have learned in my training part only, so that I have shown you.
Okay. Now, which one is extensively using is Aura components or LWC? I mean, which? We can start with LWC or Aura components also we have to learn.
Okay, that's a nice question actually. So Aura component, and so people or companies most of the time now they use Aura component, because companies doesn't have that much of resources, or I can say key experience in LWC, and resources also are not available on the internet for LWC, but people are using that LWC as well. But LWC and Aura both are open source now, so they both are useful in terms of LWC. We can say they both are same, but in LWC it is very simple to build, and it is very open source and very connected with each other, each organization. So they both are similar, and all the company will require the Aura component for now, but LWC they can ask, but LWC is not mandatory for now. But to get a job, you should know Aura component at least. If you want, if you are having any 6 or 1 year of experience, they will ask Aura component for sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So Vijay, you are asking about any Salesforce developer to share experiences. Is this our last class as of now? So yeah, this is our last class as of now. And you can, if you want to share any like to whom you want to share. So if you want to take any help, if you need any help on this, you can personally call me, message me anytime. I'll be available. I'll try to help you out on that. And please let me know in case you are having any kind of question related to this training. I'll happy to help. And if you want any clarification on any topic, I'll try to connect with you personally, and please let me know.
Yeah, yeah, Aladin. Yeah. Aladin, when we talk about Visual Force, Lightning, Aura, or LWC, we are only talking about the front end UI.
For Aura and LWC, yeah, but that is the front end only. So
Yeah,
yeah, in
and
terms
it
of
has its own JavaScript controller.
yeah, for Aura and this LWC, they have JavaScript controller, but for Aura, they have the server-side controller as well, which is also in JavaScript. But the client-side controller will be in the JavaScript, but they have the server-side controller, which is a part of backend. So in the Aura only, they have the server-side controller, which is in JavaScript.
Okay, okay, server side software. Again, it's server side, but JavaScript.
Yeah, it is in JavaScript.
Okay.
So for to know or to work with the Aura component and LWC, you need to know the JavaScript.
Mhm.
Okay. Is there any other question?